JetBlue flight tonight out of Palm Beach, and it says SSSS on the boarding pass, and the front desk people were like, you're on a list, we need to do advanced screening procedures against you. I don't know why this is happening now.
That was journalist James O'Keefe learning he was placed on the Quiet Skies terror watch list. Now, as we previously reported, the 4 S's on the bottom of a boarding pass are clear indicators that you've been added to this list. The list includes anyone who traveled to the capital region around January 6, 2021, independent journalists, an 8-week-old baby, and lots of other people. And if you're wondering how one gets placed on this list, it's likely at the request of Democrats like Congressman Bennie GThompson. According to a letter obtained by Uncover DC, the congressman sent this letter to Homeland Security to Transportation Security Administration Administrator David Pekoske just days after January 6th. In the letter, Thompson lies when saying, quote, insurrectionists attacked the United States Capitol intent on preventing the certification of a democratic election and apparently inflicting violence on elected officials. Several lives were lost, including at least one Capitol police officer. Thompson goes on to say, quote, to our knowledge, the federal government has not prevented a single insurrectionist from boarding an aircraft. Several have harassed and threatened harm to members of Congress, flight crew members, and the public while traveling. Joining us to discuss this is the director of the Air Marshal National Council, Sonia Labasco. Sonia, thanks for being here. Look, this is very concerning, this letter, but just breaking today in a bombshell exclusive report from Uncover DC are more documents that are concerning. Tell us about these documents, Sonia.
Me back on. We so appreciate your support. These documents are going to showcase what was really said that the Air Marshal National Council, we notified TSA on January the 15th, 2021. We thought they made a mistake by taking all the people that were in the region and putting them on a flight manifest list, listed as domestic terrorists. But we did not know the fix was in because we didn't realize that Congressman Thompson had sent that letter to Pekoske on January the 11th. So all the work we've done for the last almost 3 years to stop TSA's behavior lets us know now that no matter what we did or who we talked to, TSA had their marching orders, and they were going to do what they're doing, the same as they're doing it today.
And let me ask you, because it seems like we're hearing of more and more people on the list. We didn't hear much about this a year ago, but it seems like it's becoming even more prevalent. So how do they decide, or how are people added to the list? I know Bennie GThompson requested, but really, how are people getting on this list?
If you read through the Uncover DC article that was just broken today, it will show you the entire breakdown. It's a very comprehensive breakdown on what happens once TSA determines who goes on this list. And basically, it is a TSA determination. So they are the deciding factor. They can enter your name in the computer, and we know for a fact they've manipulated national security databases, and they have absolutely lied on innocent Americans saying that they entered or broke into the Capitol. We have those documents. So it lays it out beautifully that once you're put on this list, you're looking at around 7 years of being on this watch list. And then you've got about another 8 years if you're in good behavior, that if you have no incidents at the airport, you could potentially come off of this list. But you're looking at about 15 years through the breakdown of the process because of TSA.
Do most people realize they're even on the list, or do they think they're just getting singled out because, you know, they have something in their backpack? Do they get what's going on to them?
I don't think they do, Emerald. That's what's so sad as I see some of these things happening in the airport. Even when I'm traveling, I see this and I know what's happening to these passengers, and they all look dumbfounded. I don't, you know, they look like, well, why am I not allowed to check my bag in? Why can't I get a mobile boarding pass? And I hope that the coverage that you've been giving, Uncover DC, and everyone that's covered this story, that the American people will be educated about what's happening to them, and then they can track it back to their political affiliations. Were they at the Capitol? Were they at the rally? Were they just in DC in January during this pivotal moment? And then track it back to, why am I being put on a list? I've done nothing wrong.
Yeah. And once you're on it, can you get yourself off of it before 7 years? Can you do an appeal, let's say?
Well, I mean, the only luck that we've had, Emerald, is going on the Kyle Seraphin show and pinpointing people that were put on the list. And once we pinpointed that through through Kyle's show, the FBI actually showed up and knocked on their door. So I don't know of any other way. Maybe you can get on TSA. There is a redress program, but I don't know that that's going to work on this particular watch list that was created for January 2021 specifically, because they've put these in completely different categories as a 102, which means you're a suspected domestic terrorist.
Look, this is extremely concerning. I mean, I think it was last week that Uncover DC had the story about the baby, right? An 8-week, 9-week-old baby that is on the terrorist watch list, which is extremely, I mean, it's just stupid and ridiculous to start with, but it's just concerning. How much outreach have you had from Congress? These are massive documents. The proof is right here. So what kind of outreach have you had from Congress, and what can they do about it? I'm sure you have recommendations for them.
Well, we've had some outreach where Congress will actually be back on Capitol Hill next week. The 4th, 5th, and 6th will be up there talking about this issue and the issue with the air marshals being at the border. I mean, Congress can do a lot. You know, they hold the purse strings for TSA, and every time that we try to send information and documents in, TSA tries to pivot. They'll change the name of a program. They'll go from Quiet Skies to Special Mission Coverage to now it's going to be high-risk travelers. They'll call it an HRT program. So what we need for Congress to do is just listen, look at the facts, look at the evidence, look at the details, and stop funding TSA. Hold them accountable. Don't give them the funding that they want, because they're misusing these funds. And that's proven by the DHS-OIG, who did an investigation in 2020 and said that TSA just misused $394 million in the program. So the own government is, they are investigating themselves, but nothing's being done after the investigations are complete.
Absolutely. And it's low-hanging fruit. You think a Republican-led majority could address this with the funding issue. If you're on the list, I would suspect it would help if you personally I won't say harass, but personally reach out to your representative and let them know, and keep reminding them. And thank you so much, Sonia Labasco, for all the work that you're doing and for blowing the whistle on this. And for everyone else, go to uncoverdc.com right now. You can see this and read it all in its detail. It was just breaking, so we didn't have time to get it all together for you. And we're so glad you were with us today as it was breaking, Sonia.